What's up, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the Black Brains on the B-Side YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel, and in the top right, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we release a new video. Now, without further ado, let's get to Bill Bojangles Robinson.
This brilliant brother's name is Bill Bojangles Robinson. He was born Luther Robinson in a modest house at 915 North 3rd Street in Richmond, Virginia's Jackson Ward on May 25, 1878. His father, Maxwell, worked in a machine shop while his mother, Maria, was a choir singer. After both of his parents died in 1885, Robinson was raised by his grandmother, Bedelia, who had been an enslaved person earlier in her life. At the age of 5, Robinson began dancing for a living, performing in local beer gardens. At 7 years old, he began his showbiz career as a dancer in The South Before the War, a show that toured the South. In 1886, at the age of 9, he joined Mamie Remington's touring troupe. In 1891, he joined a traveling company, later performing as a vaudeville act. He achieved great success as a nightclub and musical comedy performer. At this stage of his career, he performed almost exclusively in black theaters before black audiences. In 1907, after his vaudeville dancing partner became ill, he returned to Richmond and became a waiter at the Jefferson Hotel, where he spilled oyster soup on just the right dinner guest, one Marty Forkins. When Marty Forkins learned that Bill Robinson was really a dancer, he asked to see Robinson dance, and soon after, Forkins became Robinson's manager. Forkins managed Robinson for the rest of his life. Forkins urged Robinson to develop his solo act in nightclubs. Robinson took a break from performance to serve as a rifleman in World War I. Along with fighting in the trenches, Robinson was also a drum major who led the regimental band up Fifth Avenue upon the regiment's return from Europe. In 1928, he starred on Broadway in the huge successful musical revue Blackbirds of 1928, which featured his famous stair dance. Blackbirds was a revue starring African-American performers intended for white audiences. At the peak of his career on America's leading vaudeville circuit in the 1920s, Bill Bojangles earned an astonishing $6,500 a week. The widely hailed king of the tap dancers had come a long way since he shelled peas for 2 cents a basket as a boy in the old market in his native Richmond. He still had a long way to go before he turned himself into an American showbiz legend. Robinson was 50 when he conquered Broadway. After joining Blackbirds in 1928 as an extra attraction, 3 weeks into its long run, he was credited with boosting the revue's weekly gross from 9,000 to 27,000. He became widely known for single-handedly saving Broadway shows. The show was a breakthrough for Robinson. He became well known as Bojangles, which meant that he had a cheerful and happy-go-lucky demeanor for his white fans, despite the nearly polar opposite meaning of the nickname in the black community. His catchphrase, "everything's copacetic," reinforced Robinson's sunny disposition. Although he worked regularly as an actor, Robinson was best known for his tap dance routines. He pioneered a new form of tap, shifting from a flat-footed style to a light swinging style that focused on elegant footwork. Robinson's fame withstood the decline of African-American revues. He starred in 14 Hollywood motion pictures, many of them musicals, and played multiple roles opposite the child star Shirley Temple.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Come on. Say, you get your own quick. Look out now. Here's your last one.
His film credits include Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, The Lil Colonel, and Stormy Weather, co-starring Lena Horne and Cab Calloway. Despite his fame, Robinson was not able to transcend the narrow range of stereotypical roles written for black actors at the time. By accepting these roles, Robinson was able to maintain steady employment and remain in the public eye. In 1939, at the age of 61, he performed in The Hot Mikado, a jazz-inspired interpretation of Gilbert and Sullivan's operetta. Robinson celebrated his 61st birthday publicly by dancing down 61 blocks of Broadway backwards. It was reported that Robinson could actually run faster backwards than most people could run forwards. Robinson was involved in baseball as well as theater. In 1931, he co-founded the Harlem Black Bombers alongside financier James Semler. and they adopted the new name New York Black Yankees in 1936. The team was a part of the Negro National League until 1948, when Major League Baseball first integrated racially. He lived lavishly, gambled, and gave away his earnings, often to the needy, black and white, almost as soon as he acquired them. It's reported that Robinson earned more than $3 million over his long career, and much of his wealth went to charities in Harlem. Robinson was married 3 times. His 1907 marriage to Lena Chase ended in 1922. He married his second wife, Fannie S. Clay, in 1922. Clay served as her husband's manager and assisted him in founding the Negro Actors Guild of America, which advocated for the rights of African American performers. Clay and Robinson divorced in 1943. In 1944, he married Elaine Plains. Robinson and Plains were together until Robinson's death. Bill Bojangles Robinson was not only famous for his innovative tap dancing techniques, he was also a great philanthropist. In 1933, during one of his visits back home, through the intersection that now surrounds his statue, he saw 2 children narrowly escape being struck by a car because there was no stoplight at the intersection of Lee and Adams Streets and Chamberlain Parkway. So he provided $1,400 to erect a traffic light to prevent this from happening again. Robinson was honored for his lifetime achievement when a theater was built and named in his honor in the Churchill section of Richmond. Some of the elderly residents of Churchill remember his return for the grand opening of the theater. Bill Bojangles Robinson died on November 25, 1949, at the age of 71 of heart failure in New York. The stoplight he erected for the safety of children was draped in black when Robinson died. In Manhattan, more than 500,000 people lined the streets as Robinson's funeral procession made its way through Harlem and down Broadway to Times Square on its way to a burial in the Actors section of Evergreen Cemetery in Brooklyn. Robinson's funeral was arranged by longtime friend and television host Ed Sullivan. It was held at the 369th Infantry Regiment Armory and attended by thousands, including many stars from the entertainment industry. A eulogy by Adam Clayton Powell Sr., father of Congressman Adam Clayton Powell Jr., was broadcast over the radio. Robinson remained a well-known figure long after his death, particularly in dance circles. In 1989, a joint congressional resolution established National Tap Dance Day on May 25th, Robinson's birthday. Additionally, a public park in Harlem bears Robinson's name, a way of honoring his charity contributions and participation in the neighborhood's civic life. In a lasting tribute to his legacy, the Astoria Beneficial Club commissioned sculptor John Temple Witt to create this statue of Robinson, and it was unveiled in 1973. Bill Bojangles Robinson, thank you, brother, for your contributions.